step one for this sirloin is I'm going to go ahead and let it drain out a little bit because I don't want blood all over my cutting board. So from everything I've seen, the first thing we want to do is remove the silver skin right here, trim off some of it, take this right here, if you can see it, this muscle off the top, and then we're going to peel it right this way and peel off all this fat so that we can peel the tri-tip off of it, or the colette they call it. So we're going to slowly take our time and try to do that. Hopefully my knives are pretty sharp. While trying not to get too much waste, we're going to peel this off, get under it. Not butchering the crap out of it. You know, we're going to take a lot more time to do it than a butcher does because he's not as worried about the waste as we are, because they're going to upcharge you to $10 a pound for this. But every time I make a cut, I'm throwing money away. So I'm wondering if maybe, there we go, get under it. There we go. Got a lot of that off. And yes, I washed my hands. All right, let's see if we can peel this off here. This piece of meat, I think I could just, you practically get your fingers under it right here and grab a hold of it. There's like a seam there. There it is. Once you find the seam, you can practically just run your knife on it and just pull it off. There it is. Found it. Get that off. That's something. And then we get under this fat, and you can pretty much just get under it and kind of push, and it pushes itself off. See that? I'm not really cutting much, just pushing it off. Look at that. Some of that I can cut. This is just, some guys will tell you to use that to make beef tallow or put it in your grind. I'm not going to have enough of it to do that with. And that should allow me to get in here and just practically peel this colette off of here. So I'm going to use this little knife here to just seam it. Like that. There you go. There's that. A lot of fat here. We're gonna trim all that fat off there. Look at that. It's all just excess. You can see the triangular shape of this thing. Get some of this thick stuff off. Once again, I could go through it and cut off little pieces of useful stuff, put it in trimmings or whatever I want to there. Here I'm not that experienced, so probably gonna make a lot of mistakes, but I mean, this is what it is. Let's turn it over here and get a little bit of this thick fat off. I'm a little different when it comes to the fat off of this tri-tip because I like to sous vide my stuff. There's still a lot of fat right here. So I like to leave as much of the fat cap as I can because it comes out really well in the sous vide. But there we go. Now we're starting to get down to it. We don't want this thick, like brown fat. See, that's just all junk. I get mad in the butcher shop when they over trim, but you don't want all this fat. There we go. Now it's starting to look like something. A little bit. Because I'm just taking my time so I don't do that right there. See, that got a little thick. I don't want to go too much into that. Get out some of this brown fat here. Make sure there's no silver skin, because sometimes there's some silver skin under here that we don't want. And this is just see, a little just more fat. Okay. Heavy duty there. Down. And you can go into this as much as you want. I'm, like I said, going to leave a lot of fat because I like it whenever I cut my steaks. I'm going to cut this just like this into steaks, fillet steaks, and I'm pretty happy with them. I like to cut them with the grain first, and then after I cook them, I'll cut them into 1-inch slices against the grain. Turns out really good. So, let's go ahead and cut them into about 1-inch pieces. I like to keep them together when I'm cutting. Gives me something to hold on to. This last bit here, I can either just throw into the grind or butterfly it. I'll probably just grind it. So here you go. Here's what these fillet steaks kind of look like. Like I said, I'm not a pro trimmer, so that'll feed a family of 4 and have a little leftovers. Over here. Now we got this thing. Let's see what we're going to do with this. So I've got this piece. It's trimmed somewhat. I'm going to trim it after I cut all the steaks. So if I wanted to, I could cut it, get myself a roast out of it, and then slice it into steaks. Me, I don't really want a roast, I don't think. I just want a bunch of steaks. So I'm just gonna go down the line here, cutting steaks, and then I'm gonna trim it after the fact, because I'm not a very good trimmer, so if I try to trim it now, I'll trim off way more than I want. So the muscles running this. Oh, hold on, I gotta look at it. Yes, so my muscle grain, got myself all turned around. There we go. My muscle grains are running this way, so I'm gonna slice this way into about 1-inch steaks. That's why I turned it that way. Sorry, I got all confused. Pretty new at this, so go ahead and get about 1 inch. I'm not scared if it's a little more. I couldn't find I have a big knife. I couldn't find my really big knife. So I'm sort of butchering this. This should be done all in one cut, a down and then back motion, but since we don't have the proper knife for some reason, we're just gonna keep on chugging. And these are thicker than you normally get in the store on purpose. I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. You're gonna like it. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old and my wife. I won't say her age. But takes probably 2 of these steaks for a dinner, with me eating almost 1 myself. And then I'm gonna trim this one up a little bit, I think. It's gonna be easier to do this like this. Use this other meat as backing to do it. That way you don't cut yourself. It's actually easier with some cloth gloves on, but it is what it is. I'm gonna trim that up, make it into some burger. I got a grinder. So there's your sirloin steaks. Not too bad for $5.99 a pound. Hopefully that helps you. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. Have a great day. Just in case you needed to see what we came up with, there's our sirloin steaks, there's our collet steaks, and I'm gonna grind about 2 pounds of hamburger off the trimmings. I threw the fat away, so I don't make tallow. All right, here's our little meat grinder. Here's my little helper. We've already been yelled at for wanting to stick our fingers down there. Luckily, there's no possible way his finger's long enough to make it in there. So he's got the little pusher job. He's gonna push the meat down. Come on out there. All right, ready? Yeah. All right, push it. There we go. You're doing a great job. There you go. Yeah, push it on in there. Smells good.
No, it doesn't.
It's hamburger.
This is not hamburger.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
No, don't do that. We're gonna let it run for a second. And turn it off. There's about 2 pounds of hamburger. And we're doing a little vac packing. Just because, why not? It's the best way to save it.